be live. Hello and welcome to the stream of spicy oranges. I even titled it different this year, also today. What did I title it? Oh yeah, I titled it Spicy Oranges in French.
All right. Thank goodness Matt's here. Matt, how do I upload a token to Owlbear Rodeo? Help me out here. Feeling like an old man.
You should be able to, down in the bottom right hand corner. I gotta get an owlbear.
I think it's bottom left-hand corner, right?
It's been a little while
Now
since
who's
I've
the
done it.
old man?
Hey, I just learned how to use the D&D Beyond map creator,
Oh, right.
which pulls all your stuff in from your profile.
There's
I
a
gotta find the.
managed storage thing, and then it lets me. It says import backup. I guess that's the issue.
Sorry, I gotta find the owlbear link.
Wait, is it down here at the bottom? Props, mounts, characters? No, it's not. Asset manager.
There you go. It should be the
That
asset
doesn't look
manager.
like it either. Oh, add.
You guys see this? This piece was made by a user at Leadhead, and it's our first real sculpture that we're able to feature on our stream. And I think of this, you guys listen, everyone can have their own interpretation of this, but for me, this is a mantis queen. She's got her she's got her staff, right? And she's hasn't bitten anyone's head off yet, but the night is young. Just saying.
See, I would have gone slightly different. I would have gone mantis ent or a treant.
Well, where did you center?
Oh, that was wow. No.
Hits keep coming. All right, so now,
So, Duncan,
yes.
click on the asset manager, and then at the top right it should say add.
Well,
And then
yeah,
you should
so I
just be able
have
to.
my asset.
Okay, so you just drag and drop it, or you click to upload
Drag,
in the middle.
upload in the middle.
Yep. So in the middle of the thing, it should have a little sword, and it says click to upload or drag and drop.
Oh, this should be easier than it is.
Tech lessons here. People like the people whose art this is are around and they're not even in stream. Come on, you slackers, get in stream. All right. Wait, why is stream paused? Oh, there we go. Now we have a nice close view. Whoa, I can get real close.
Called the zoom function.
Yeah.
Sort of depends on how high res the photo is.
Yes.
It's a pretty good one. It's even got like a face. How did you do that? Did you carve it? You must have carved it, didn't you? And there needs to be a whole army of these things, maybe.
Listen,
I'd be down for fighting an army of those.
Would you though?
Yeah.
never gonna lose this tile ever again.
Wow. The tile is the world of Ezra.
Um, oh, there's Leadhead. It was pretty great, Leadhead. All right, so let's recap. I don't know if we're gonna get Dirk tonight or not. I know that we are not gonna get Owen tonight. Dirk's show, Spamalot, is going up this week on Tuesday. I believe it's already sold out because, it's Spamalot. But I'm going to try to go anyway. Going to show up and scalp tickets to a local production of Spamalot. It's going to be great.
Are you tall enough to see over the fences or something like that? Climb a tree?
I don't know if they have bouncers at these things, so I'm going to find
Aren't you
out.
probably bigger than the bouncer?
Okay. Who would like to do a recap of what happened last week? Let me ask you this. Does anyone want to do a recap of what happened last week?
I don't think we need one. Everybody watched.
You can
Few
do
of
one. It's
us
not
might
gonna
have
be
even
very
watched
accurate
it
though.
like 2-3 times to make sure we didn't miss anything. Couldn't have been me.
I remember the group finally making it to Drunel Hall last week. Do you guys remember that? And then you met Veilthorn and his significant other Caxio. Veilthorn's a good old friend of Skip. Is this all ringing a bell?
Skip's the one we drank with, right?
Skip's the one you drank with. You got it. Skip, who for some reason likes you guys. I can't
And he
figure
knows
out why.
Ted.
I mean,
I like how measured and level-headed we are.
oh, look at that! I have a new subscriber. It's Ezra. This is the best. Thanks, Ezra. You're my one true friend. Uh, yeah, Twitch tells me I'm streaking. Oh, you're streaking. We just can't see because the camera only has a bust view. Yeah, so so wait, but hold on. You met a lot of NPCs. Let's pull the players. Who was your favorite NPC from last week? No judgment.
I can't remember his name. The
The
Moose.
moose.
The Moose. Does anybody remember his name?
Yeah, Chuckles.
Chuckles. You got it. Chuckles is very friendly and moosey and Canadian, eh?
Chuckles is good. We haven't met the tiefling with the one horn yet, right?
Have not.
Listen. Veilthorn's great.
Who does our
Chuckles is probably the best one.
Chuckles is easy to like. Yeah. Well, here's a question for people watching the stream. Of all the photographs that we have not identified yet in the NPC channel, who would you most like for them to speak to this evening? And I will make it happen one way or
A
another.
lot to choose from. We have
Is anybody else, is D&D Beyond down for everybody else?
it appears to be working for me. We got the red-headed lady. Haven't met her yet. The tiefling with one horn. Haven't met them yet. Loxodon.
Oh, it's down for me too.
That's working for me.
Yeah, it's working for me too.
The gentleman with the trio of lockets. Haven't met them. Bertol. And then you added these new ones. Boy,
It's up, but I can't get into my character.
Yeah, I can't get into mine either.
Yeah.
Zerwin is screwed up. I can get into a different character that I made on here.
Well, did you lock us out?
Well, yeah. I can get into my other character, but not Jonna.
No, Ezra? Can
Gonna
you?
make that fun?
I went into D&D Beyond a little bit earlier, so if there's a shift,
I see the campaign working fine.
yeah, it looks like I can get in. No issues on my end.
Who's the cool grandma? Ghostboy Rin wants to know. That's
Yep,
a
the
good
cool
question.
grandma.
We should meet the
I,
cool grandma.
my vote's for the cool grandma because we have to find her at some point.
You met Viken Zrayax. He was everybody's favorite, I think. Remember him? He was the billionaire playboy draconian, not draconian, dragonborn.
He gave Owen pants.
He did give Owen pants. That's right.
We hate him. We hate him so much.
There's so much hatred with this party.
You met
I
Ok
love
Gung.
that.
Do you remember Ok Gung?
Yeah, he's a goblin. He's got
That's
a
right.
lot of teeth. He's very
Thieves
toothy.
Guild.
Um, so you made it. You made it through the first day. You ran a little errand for Veilthorn, right? You went to see Chuckles. You picked up ale for him, and then you delivered the ale back, and you basically Skip and Veilthorn had been previously best friends, you guess, and they hadn't seen each other in like a decade, and so they had like a big, reunion party where everyone got pretty drunk, and then in the middle of the night there was a message for Ezra. What happened then, Ezra?
It was either my dad or a doppelganger disguised as my dad. We're all on the edges of our seats waiting to find out. Um, yeah, we've met a bunch of people last week. I'm trying to think if there's. Oh, a bunch of us are enrolled in gladiatorial combat. That's going to be exciting.
Oh yeah, you got skipped to vouch for, what is it, sponsor you all.
Sponsor.
Yeah, for um the Great Games, the Three Realms tournament. Best melee, best ranged, best unarmed, best caster. So a bunch of us are gonna do that.
Well, hey,
Uh,
Ezra Gelidus, can you click on my character in the campaign and
it
see if
looks
you can
like I
see?
can. I will try it. Yes.
And can you see my card? You can see the screen.
Yeah, so I can see. Yeah, what do you want to know? What do you
Well, so this is what I'm getting when I click on my name or Jana's name. I'm getting this, but I can see your character sheets if I click on your characters inside the campaign.
can you bring us back to the in the stream? Can you? Yeah.
So if I click on you, I can see your sheet fine.
What if you
If I,
click the little view thing?
if I click on Jana, she's doesn't work and I don't work.
Wild.
Everybody else
Yeah,
seems to.
that's what I see too.
Hmm. If you click the view button specifically for you, same thing. Wow.
This is fishy. What have you guys been cheating on D&D Beyond? Is that what's happening? This is a conspiracy. You've been locked out of your characters for trying to hack the D&D mainframe. I'm for it.
Nice.
Did you try using a different browser?
Yeah, that's the first thing I would do, would be if you're using Chrome to go to Firefox or something.
Yeah.
I apparently cannot stop watching your stream, so just do whatever you want. I can't turn it off.
Let's see. Anything else interesting last week? We met. We don't know the name of the attractive dragonborn, right? The one that's working for Vicken or among Vicken's harem.
No one asked her
Uh,
name.
well, not. I mean, we didn't ask her or Vicken because we wanted to avoid talking to him.
I mean, yeah. Typically, when I want to know someone's name, I ask them, but there are other ways.
We let's share some other small details from last week while Zerwin and Jana try to troubleshoot. In Chuckle's cabin, there were some little fey beings and some animals that could talk. And then as we left, a few of us noticed that there was a painting, a small painting on his desk of a blue ogre woman. We learned that there are rumors that the two leaders of
Was
the
there?
two castles, it's in the notes.
Some people saw that. Some people saw something else entirely.
Oh yeah,
Some
some
people
people saw
saw an enormous self-portrait painting that was gripping and horrifying.
Uh, sorry. Continue, Ezra.
we got to remember that we met Bertal Thickfingers. He's a master of the sauce. So the two leaders of the two castles both allegedly have magic. That's important for our long-standing reason for even being on this place. The leaders of the two castles are Linsarian Benathan in Castle Alias, who seems nice enough. She's a human pushing 80.
Known as Linda.
She's a kindly grandmother type with sharp tongue. And then her great nephew Keen Haptar is a problem. And
Oh.
Vinith Gata, I think I got that right, lives in Fort Magnus with his husband. Vinith is a cranky old bastard. Oh, and a tiefling. So maybe we've heard about some of the people we're going to meet in the NPCs who we've seen pictures of. Also, keeping in mind that there's like two other huge events going on this week, and that's why there's nowhere for us to stay in town. I can't remember the name of the cooking competition. The Fly Awards. I passed the
Very
test.
good.
The Fly Awards is going on, and then there's some third thing, which I great note keeping, Duncan. Some third thing also going on. It may be that this Vicken guy's in town. That might be the third thing.
So the that was very good. Do you have the name of the nephew?
Yeah, her great nephew, Keen Haptar.
Good.
Yeah, and the Fly Awards are named after Robert Flinius,
Yes.
chef who's originally from Journal Hall, which is where we
Uh, these are getting pretty detailed. These notes. I'm impressed. There's a lot of stuff to keep track of. That's pretty well done. Well done.
I gave
I
away
meant to
my.
offer,
Oh, yeah, you go.
sorry, Ezra, I meant to offer, like, you do a lot of the talking. I'm happy to take over some of the note playing, especially if we're in a talkie
Yeah, I
one.
mean, we can take
Or
notes
if
at the
you're the
same
main
time, even.
characters.
Yeah, that would be great because it's hard to
Yeah,
talk and write at the same time. I'm not good at multitasking.
well, else it doesn't really seem fair. Happy to
Any
help out.
progress getting into your character sheet?
It didn't work in Firefox either.
I logged out and logged back in. That seemed to work.
The old turn it off, turn it on again routine. All right, we're gonna pick up in this tense moment between Ezra and question mark Daddy. We don't know. And the only person of the viewers who voted to see an NPC was Ghost by Ruin, who wanted to see the cool grandma. So maybe we'll try to get to the cool grandma today. Right. So you, I believe, did an insight check, correct?
Yeah, and I rolled a 23 thanks to Veilthorn's bardic inspiration. If only we had a bard.
What would you name him if you had one in the party, though?
You know, name it after some kind of grain, maybe
I was thinking like Farley.
Quinoa.
Quinoa.
quinoa ancient grain.
Okay. Here's what you get from your insight check. You get, because I believe you rolled pretty well, right?
23.
Whoever this is believes what they're saying, and they're also hiding something from you.
Ezra pauses for a second and then says, "You mentioned that you cast a seeking spell as soon as I disappeared, and you said we. Who's we? And how? I don't know of you having any magical abilities."
Oh, your mother and I paid for someone to cast a seeking spell. Like basically the instant the fire was done. We've been looking for you nonstop since.
Seems clear to me that you're hiding something. What is it?
He kind of looks a little. It's nothing. It's nothing for you to worry about. Just I needed to know you were safe, and I needed to tell you what was happening at home, and I needed to see you.
Put me at ease with this. Before I left on the last mission that I took for the house, you gave me a gift. What was it that you gave me?
I don't know. What did he give you?
He gave me a ring.
I gave you a ring.
All right. I'm sure you've been away for too long as it is. You're gonna go straight back to the house?
Yeah, well, no. Um, I need to report to court first.
Okay. Have things gotten that bad?
I'm going to be testifying.
About the murder and the abduction?
Yes.
Is there anything you can tell me about what happened?
I don't know any, like, your mother is afraid that we are going to be suspects, which is absurd on every level. Like, even if we had the motivation to do this, we don't have the capability to do this.
Exactly.
It'll be fine. I'm going to tell them the truth about everything. It'll be okay.
All right.
You get the sense that that's probably what he was hiding from you.
All right. Well, good luck.
I'm so glad you're okay.
I'm glad that you two are okay also.
He
Stay safe.
Yeah, he turns to go and then he stops and turns back and like hugs you one more time. And then like okay. And he turns and walks out without looking back again. You can see his tears
Yeah,
welling up
Ezra
in his eyes.
pockets the seeking coin. Then I guess goes back upstairs to finish his long rest. I don't know.
Okay, everybody can mark a long rest if you haven't already. You wake up. Well, does anybody have a specific time they want to wake up? Because otherwise, you're all going to sleep in. It was a late night, and I believe everyone was drinking again, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, Probably actually the first one up is Zerwin because he actually passed out on the floor, and some of the patrons are going to wake him up. The rest of you managed to find your way to a bed, which means you'll be able to sleep longer. So Zerwin, you're woken up at an unpleasant hour when the sun is shining brightly through a window, and your head is and eyes are displeased about everything. Someone is nudging you with their boot. Hey,
What?
you gotta get up, man. We gotta get through here. There's
You're where?
so you realize that you passed out in one of the doors to the kitchen with like a turkey leg in one hand and like a stein half full of beer in the other and like half a loaf of bread kind of on your chest. And the kitchen workers who are like making breakfast have like tried to let you sleep through most of prep time, but now they need to get out into the dining room. And they're like, you got to move, dude.
Okay, but I'm taking this with me. I nod at the turkey leg.
If we're making pancakes, if you want some.
Oh. Yeah, I better get a beer first.
There's a strange look of near panic when you say that, but as long as you get up and walk away, they're okay.
So I do. Get up and I just go find a table somewhere and put my head down.
Yeah, actually, roll me a Constitution roll.
Just a regular
Just a regular
Constitution.
old Constitution roll.
Critical failure.
You fall back asleep. Okay, the next person that wakes up is probably going to be it's actually probably going to be Jana because Skip wakes you up.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to go get breakfast. Do you want to join me?
Sure.
Great. He looks pleased. So, I don't know what they're making this morning, but whatever it is, you've got to get the maple syrup. They make it here. It's the best. They ship it all over the place.
Okay.
How'd you sleep?
Fine. So everyone else is looking pretty tired. I can't like kick somebody.
Well, you could definitely kick either Geldis or Ezra on your way out.
I'm gonna accidentally kick Gelidus.
Geldis, you've been kicked.
Ow.
Oh, sorry, Gelidus. We're getting some breakfast. You wanna come?
Sure, yeah. I'll come.
Great.
Who else is coming?
Me.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Skip.
Morning, Geldis. Do you like pancakes?
I love pancakes.
Let's go get some. Um, there. You estimate it's probably like maybe 8:30 in the morning. Um, and honestly, the first breakfast crew is already gone. You do see one of the first things you notice is that Zerwin is snoring face down on a table, and it's a loud snore. But everyone seems to have gotten used to it. You're not sure how long he's been there for. He's got a like mug of beer in one hand and a turkey leg in the other, and he's covered in crumbs. But there's like some drool like coming down the table as his face is pressed against it. Skip goes,
Fantastic.
perfect. Zerwin got us a table already.
You had the perfect plan.
Skip goes over to the table, and as he sits down, he like removes the beer stein from Zerwin's hand without waking him up, and then like dumps the beer out the window, and then like pours some water in, and then like mixes just a little bit of beer in with the water, and then slides it back into his hand. And Zerwin, in his like half awake state, like reaches out and like grabs it, and then falls back asleep. Um, and then Skip says, "We can wake him up when the food gets here." Uh,
Fine.
you you guys just want pancakes? You want anything special with breakfast today?
Pancake sounds perfect. Oh, I'm still asleep.
You're
Sounds
still
good.
asleep.
Yeah, pancakes are good for me.
Okay. He orders pancakes all around. They actually each come with a big fat sausage link anyway. It's part of the deal. Um, When it gets there, he kicks Zerwin's chair hard enough that Zerwin is shocked into awakeness.
Oh, hey, we still drinking?
Yeah, but we also got food in case you're hungry.
Oh, Skip, you're quite a guy.
It smells good, and it the server puts the plate down just as Skip says that, and it's like, sausage and pancake in your face. It's delicious. The three of you can make perception checks.
Skip's gonna kill us.
Nat 20.
The pancakes are poisoned.
I'm still locked out of my character. Can someone roll for me?
Yeah, you can just go to roll dice online and
Okay.
just roll a d20.
Did you hear me? I had a
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Yeah, you'll get the good stuff.
I get a 17.
Not bad. Success.
Where's Dirk? Is Dirk there?
I don't know where Dirk is. Dirk didn't get back to me.
It won't let me get into anybody else's characters now. So,
Sorry.
what's your perception,
Uh,
Jana?
I think my modifier is 9.
What'd you roll?
13.
Okay. So, Geldis and Jenna, you both notice that there's like the energy in here is really different, and it's not just because it's morning. It's somber in here, and people are like huddled and like talking in low voices. And like there's not like a lot of like loud, boisterous conversation like there might otherwise be. Zerwin, with a natural 20, you overhear conversation. You hear the following words: yearly sacrifice and missing child. Even through the haze of your hangover, you somehow manage to pick out more than everybody else does.
Jesus, it's loud in here. Oh, maybe people are upset about this missing child or the sacrifice that's going on.
What?
Now that he
I don't
mentions
know.
it, you also overhear some things.
Hey, can you guys keep it down?
Skip, is something going on that we should know about?
I don't know. Um, it does seem like things are, now that Zero mentions it, it does seem like things are kind of funky in here. Just like Skip like leans over to the next table and is like, "Hey, what's going on?" "Oh, you didn't hear?" No, we just got here." "Yeah, there's another one. Just like, every fucking year, one of them disappears." "I'm sorry, one of what?" "A kid. One of our kids. Look, it's like clockwork. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 9 months, maybe it's 12 months, but every fucking year we lose a kid to the goddamn Feywild or the Fey Kingdoms or whatever the fuck it is that's on the other side of the mountains. They just disappear and we never see them again." "Oh, that's not true," says the guy sitting with him. "Don't forget about Alvinius. He came back." "All right, yeah. So once in the entire history of this town, one of the kids came back as an adult with no memories of what happened, but the rest of them just disappear. It's fucking curse. It's the Drunel Hall fucking curse, and it's because of the rich fucks that live in the castles. If they could get their shit together and protect us, oh, I don't know about that. I mean, it could be a lot of things, right? It could be the Fae. We don't know. Like, don't be." And the two of them start bickering with one another, which is something that's clearly a long-standing argument between the two of them.
Should we talk to Ezra about this?
Good point. He beckons over to the server and says, "Could you go wake up or wake up the smart-looking halfling in room 303?" Ezra, you're woken not long after.
Is there another one of my parents?
Sorry, sir. Skip Publio asked for you. He's down at one of the tables. Do you know who that
Uh,
is?
he's basically one of my parents at this point. I will wander downstairs and join the group. Sorry to be late. What did I miss?
You're right on time. They're talking about the Feywild and children going missing.
That definitely sounds like the kind of thing that would happen in a place
Gelidus,
where the Feywild kind of butted up against the material plane.
Gelidus, check your pockets. Maybe that he's in there.
I don't think my pockets are big enough. Unless one of you guys stuck a bag of holding or something in them. I go through my pockets anyway.
Ezra checks to make sure the bag of holding is still on his right hip.
Ezra still has the bag of holding, yeah. Gallus, you do feel something new after the night of drinking. It's a coin.
I pull it out.
It's a funky coin. It's black wood.
Who makes a
That's not the
coin out
one
of
that
wood?
that's not the one that my dad gave me, is it?
No. No, but that would be hilarious. It's going to be quick work. Yeah, are you going to show it to everybody?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, I pop it out.
So
Can we do like history checks or something to see if
no,
he
because you're
recognizes it?
not from here. But what you see on one side is like an outline of a man, but he has antlers, like big, huge stag antlers. And then on the other side is a massive oak tree.
Is there a door in it?
Hard to say. Coin's been worn a little bit.
It's made of wood.
That my guess would be that that's a Fey coin.
How'd I get it? Maybe they came to abduct me and realized I wasn't actually a child.
How do you get any of the things that you get? I mean,
That's true.
it is almost magic. That's almost as mysterious as anything in the Feywilds.
Oh, it's definitely not magic.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's like fate. It just falls in my pocket.
um. Uh. Hold on. Wait. You mentioned something about a disappearing child or something?
hmm Yeah, those guys over there were arguing about how Alvinius was the only
He's
one that
the
came back.
Yeah, he's the chef, right?
No. Alvinius is the master of ceremonies for the tournament.
Damn it. All right.
But he came back as an adult. He got taken as a child, came back as an adult. But they were saying, like, I guess, like clockwork, every year a child gets taken.
And they think it's a Fey thing.
That's what they say.
Did
What they
they?
were saying.
Okay. Yeah, that I wonder. That does sound like something that could happen involving a Fey kingdom or the Fey Wild. That's how my family originally ended up in the Fey Wild. I don't know if it was my parents or a prior ancestor, but they were lured into the Fey Wild and ended up signing over their services essentially, and that's why my family are servants.
So you
Um,
think we should try and save the kid?
yeah, we could look into that. It's I mean, we do need to keep in mind that there it may not necessarily be a Fey thing. It could be something else. If it, I mean, Ezra leans over and asks this table, how long has this been going on?
At the same table or a different table?
Same table.
Um. Oh gosh, my grandpa used to talk about it.
Okay. If it's been going on that long,
You never
we
heard of the
could,
Drunel Hall curse?
we're new in town.
Well, sure, but I mean, yeah. Anyway, they're organizing a search party. We're going
Uh,
right after breakfast.
who's they?
Kids' parents, I imagine.
All right. Yeah, I think we might be able to help out with that. Unless there's, Ezra looks back at the group, unless there's anything else pressing. I wanted to, while we're eating our pancakes, I wanted to ask Skip about some of the specifics about the games.
Sure. What are you gonna? What are
Ezra, are
you
you going to eat that sausage?
No, you can have it.
Thank you.
Are you done with your maple syrup? They come in these just beautiful little ceramic, pitchers. Can I have, do you have any left?
Oh, I realized as he asked me that I've been drinking out of the ceramic pitcher of syrup.
Never mind.
I don't have any more. Sorry.
That's all right.
Geldis has some left over.
Nah, his pockets need that. So there are these 4 different areas. I'm curious about the amount of time in between matches, if there's time for a short or a long rest,
The
how
games will
quickly
be
they
the games
happen.
will be 2 weeks long.
It's over 2 weeks. So you would have a day or two in between matches.
Yes, usually. I got to be
Are
honest
there
with you. I'm impressed that you guys want to sign up for this. I think you're in way over your heads. I
good?
mean, you're not gonna die. I mean, it's the whole point is that people don't die doing it. But I think I get the shit kicked out of you.
Uh, that happened in our last scrap, so it would be kind of something that we would expect at this point.
Well, I'll be cheering for you anyway. I'm not gonna
Are
bet
there
on you though.
Ezra shoots a sidelong glance at Zerwin. Um, are there we took place in a kind of gladiator match the last place that we were at, and they had
This
these
is a thing for
weird,
you guys.
yeah, yeah, they didn't expect us to win either.
Oh, it's the spicy oranges.
Yeah, this is actually maybe like the 4th or 5th competition that we've had to do, although only the second of this type.
That you've
And the
had to
last
do or
one,
that you chose to do.
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yes
Did
to
we
both.
win the other ones, or did we only win against the giant prawn?
No, we
We
won. We beat the barbarians.
Yeah, we
Big
won in
people.
barter. That was a team-based challenge, though. Anyway, they had a kind of mechanism under the arena that canceled out spells that lasted for more than a few seconds. Is there like, is there anything like that that would be a part of these games?
There are a lot of powerful Fey wards. But so, for example, if you were in the melee, you would not be able to use magic. But if you were there as part of the caster competition, I believe there are no holds barred, so to speak.
So I could turn myself into a gorilla and punch the other caster to death, and that'd be okay. Well, not to death,
Absolutely.
to unconsciousness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Uh, Could I do other things like hypnotize someone, or does it need to be entirely damage based?
I don't know. Can you?
I mean, I haven't yet. Ezra
This,
grins.
I mean, you'll get the rules when it's time, but as from what I recall, the rules are pretty lax. Like, you do what you gotta.
All right. Thanks, Skip. You're a fantastic guide, by the way.
It's been a while since I was here, but yeah, I think oh, here's one thing you should know. You won't be able to you won't be allowed to bring anything in with you. So they will give you equipment that you request. So if you want an axe and a suit of armor, they'll give that to you, but you can't bring your own stuff in.
So something like an arcane focus.
They're basically going to strip you naked.
Interesting. That impacts. Will they offer like spell components?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then.
The real joy of it is, in my mind, the idea that everyone has the same playing field.
Everyone fights naked.
Well,
I mean,
no, but
that wouldn't be new for me, but
right, obviously. No, but what I mean is if it weren't for that, then the wealthiest people could just buy the most powerful magical items and win the tournament, right?
true. How do we all feel about
I mean, Chuckles was a nobody. You know, he was a poor farm boy. And now look at him. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I was ready to move on, so if anything, I owe you an apology for moving on before giving you a chance to finish your statement. But I was going to ask the group, is there anything else that anyone, how do we feel about trying to help out with the search for this child and using that to maybe learn more about the alleged curse?
I think we have to.
Yeah. Any other, do we want to, I'm trying to get better at the planning phase. Is there anything else that we need to discuss? Anything that we need to come up with or keep in mind? Maybe we should try to stick together. That's probably a good idea.
I think that makes sense.
I mean, we'll let Dirk go off on his own. That'll make, any absence that he might have at least easier to forgive.
Let's send Dirk and Owen off together.
Perfect.
I like it. You guys want to give him a specific job or just tell him to go have fun?
Search the sewers, definitely.
That's pretty good. I like that. They're gonna run right into Ok Gung's men. All right. Very good. So you're gonna go with the search party?
Yeah, I think the alternative would be us trying to meet with the two leaders of the two castles, and we probably have to kind of work our way up to that, I would
Oh,
guess.
shit. I forgot, Zerwin. There is one other thing you overheard that nobody else heard. Um, the name Quintus Bato was also heard being whispered. You can share that or not, but when you roll your
Uh,
d20, you pick that up.
sure. I will. Skip, you ever heard of Quintus Bato?
His eyes get really big. Where'd you hear that name?
Those guys were whispering it over there.
Those guys?
Yep.
Skip gets up and walks over to the table. You
I
can't
get up
hear.
and I walk. No, fuck that. I got up and followed him.
Okay. Skip goes over to the table and it's a different group of guys. It's actually a group of women who
Well,
look like they are.
I'm hungover.
They look like they are. They look like they're field workers, basically. They're wearing kind of rough spun clothes. They've got calloused hands. This is like they've already been in the fields for several hours, and they're here just like getting water. There is a couple of men, but it's four women and two men. Skip goes over. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did I hear one of you say Quintus Bato? And they all like several of them you think recognize Skip or they recognize something about Skip. And actually, everyone can make a perception roll, and Zerwin, you have advantage because you went with him.
8. Bad roll.
11.
Did anyone roll okay?
I rolled an 8 with advantage.
You guys,
Jana, what'd you
Jana's your
get?
last hope.
I'll re-roll it
Sorry.
if none of us get it.
Sorry, hold on.
I'm just gonna get you a D20 you can just carry around and roll, like at your table.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Okay. Here, Jana's the only one who realizes this, but it's not that they recognize Skip. It's that they recognize Skip's insignia, which is a circle with a bunch of lines that lead to another smaller circle in the middle. And you realize that the lines are roads, and there's like a coastline on one edge of the insignia. And when they see this insignia, their eyes get a little wide, and they're like, "Oh." And so when he asks them about Bato, they're kind of like, "All right, clean, well-dressed person, don't come over to our table." And then like, "Oh." And then one of the women's like, "Yeah, yeah, rumor has it he's headed this way." "Are you sure?" Skip says. "No, I'm not sure. It's a fucking rumor. What do you want from me?" "Oh, of course, I'm sorry. I just, you know what? Thank you." And he returns to your table.
I stay and wink at these women.
They give you like a once over. One of them kind of gives you an appreciative nod. The rest of them are
Can I
just
do
like,
can I do like a persuasion check?
"Sure." What are you trying to persuade them of? That you can wink?
I'm trying to persuade one of them to follow me upstairs.
Oh,
I roll,
with a
I roll,
wink?
yeah, to nod, I guess. Give him one of these.
Charming.
I rolled a 13.
Good roll.
Yeah.
The
I
the one
also think we're like the party has just ended, so I don't remember going to sleep. So, sorry,
the
God.
the one that gave you like a sort of appreciative look, who is, um, she's probably in her mid 40s, human, um, very strong looking, big shoulders. She kind of gave you like a purple haired dwarf, huh? Yeah, maybe. When you're like, "Hey, she's like, and she goes back to her breakfast.
All right, I kind of shrug and then go back to our table.
Did the rest of us overhear Zerwin mention Quintus to Skip?
Yeah, he said it speaking
Yeah.
conversation level.
Skip, who's Quintus?
Quintus. Quintus is the well, if the advisor of the emperor is the hands, so to speak, then Quintus is the mouth. Quintus goes places and makes proclamations or delivers messages, but not just any proclamation or message, ones that come directly from the emperor. And if he's almost here, that means he had something from my father and not my brother, because he would have had to have left the capital several days ago, if not a week.
I don't think I realized how recently your father had passed. I'm so sorry, Skip.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, he was a shit, but he was still my dad. And as much as I thought he was an asshole, he did hold the realm together, and he did it with a minimum of pain. Completely arrogant fucking asshole, but not a torturer. So, yeah.
The fact that you can recognize his accomplishments speaks to your own qualities for leadership?
Well, a little bit of time and a lot of distance will often help people with reflective states. Anyway, you guys want to go try to find this kid? Because I kind of do.
Let's get to it.
We go talk to Alvinius first.
We should talk to Albinius, but if we're going to do the search party, it's now. And I think we can talk to Albinius afterwards. But if you'd rather go do that, I can meet you back here.
Oh, I mean, we can do it here. Let's go look.
Okay. If you pull up the map of Drunel Hall and look at it, the search party is sorry, my map just disappeared. Oh, there it is. There are fields all the way in the southwest corner of the map. It's like the fertile ground. You can sort of see where there's like fertile patches of ground. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. All the way down there is where the child disappeared. You'll see there's that one field that looks like it is wheat because it is brown. The family in question, sorry, the child in question's name is Atia Dekma. There's no photographs, but they describe a small, brown-haired 4-year-old who was working in the field with her sister and her mother. And the mother is Cestia, sister Lucretia, father Decius. They're all there now, along with like a host of cousins, uncles. It's not hard to see the devastation of the parents and the utter hopelessness of everybody who's there. Everybody is here. It's easy to tell this. Everyone is here because they want to show support for this family, and no one expects to find this child. They've all done this every year. Nevertheless, they're making a good game of it. Just past the edge of this field is woods. At first, it's, new growth, stuff that's been cut, but then it goes quickly into some big, deep, old woods. It's also very slightly uphill. You're in Drunel Hall is on a little hill, but then there's a bowl sort of, or a depression all around it, very slight, and then it goes up again into the mountains on the north and west, and into the lower lands on the south and east. The rest of these fields are all fodder hay fields. Is there anything you'd like to do before you start the search?
We could ask if the area where Atia was last seen has been disturbed by anyone else since the disappearance. For instance, if there would be a bunch of other footprints or
Yes, people have been
Yeah.
searching everywhere for her.
Okay. And then how long has it been since she was last seen?
Almost 4 hours now. No, 3 hours. They got out here basically at dawn. Very long days right now. So they got out here at like 5:30.
Has she ever wandered off before?
No, all the kids here know not to wander off. It's now pushing 9:30. Her sister swears she was there and then she was gone. Like, She was right next to me. She was right next to me. They're basically weeding and hucking stones.
And then, Bill, this is a question for you out of game. It's this field here. Try to do the pointer. Oh, it's not refreshing.
It's the southwest corner, the one that is yellow brown, and while the other ones are green.
Yeah.
Nope, on the edge of the map.
Okay, farther down. Okay, got it.
Not farther down, farther towards the edge.
Okay,
On the west.
farther on the west edge. Very good.
Yeah, Zerwin's got it up there.
Perfect. All right. Anyone else have any questions before we start searching?
Did you smell anything?
Wow, that's a really good question, Zerwin.
Yeah, great question. Anything strange sensory stuff at all?
Also, who's got the? I think I gave it to Jana, right? The necklace.
Yes, you did.
Is it glowing? I'm looking at Jana's chest and trying like not to make it look like I'm looking at her chest.
It's not glowing. No, it's not glowing. And sorry, but the girl rolled a 2. She doesn't remember anything. I was picking weeds, and then she was there, and she wasn't there. It was maybe a minute since she was there. I swear she was there.
What do we think, folks? Is it worth spending Danger Awesome points to have that girl re-roll that too? Oh, it would be expensive because it's a roll of bills. Never mind. It would be like 20 points, I think.
15. Still a
I don't know.
lot.
Too rich for my blood. Gelidus, do you have Detect Magic available by any chance?
Think he went AFK. Oh, wait, Gelidus.
What? Oh, detect magic, huh? Hold on one sec. I have dispel magic. I don't know whether I kept
Yeah,
detect.
probably only one of us needs that one.
I took it so you didn't have to. I do not have detect magic.
Okay, well, I took Dispel Magic because I didn't realize that clerics could get it.
Owen has detect magic.
Oh, and could you detect some magic up around here?
It doesn't pick up. It doesn't seem to pick up anything.
Okay.
So the question was whether she smelled anything, right?
Yeah.
That she
Yes.
couldn't remember. I'm going to cast divination, and I'm going to use the black coin as the focal point of the divination.
How is that going to change the spell or alter the
It
spell?
doesn't. It's just flavor. I have to use something, so I have to use
We're
either
not talking
coin
about
or
flavor. We're
dice
talking
or
about
something like that.
smells.
Right.
Flavor is mostly smell.
What? What's read me the description for divination again? Because I need the
So
details of this now, because I think
you
I know
ask
what's going to happen.
you ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply. The reply may be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
Okay. What are you going to ask?
We want to know whether she smelled something, right?
You might want to know something else.
Or is there something else important that we need to know?
I mean, the before you cast the spell, the thing that I would think is, we could ask very pointedly, was she taken by? We could couch it as, was she taken by somebody from the Fey realms? Was she taken by a Fey being? Is she alive? that one maybe we don't use because we don't want to alarm everybody.
I mean, I would think that we already know that she's been taken, and they say she's been taken by the Feywild. So maybe we ask, was there anything when she was taken? Did anything of note occur? What do you guys think? Too vague?
Well, I worry that the answer is going to be yeah, the girl was taken. That would be my concern. We could ask.
Oh, remember, I probably can't ask that because it's got to be something that's going to occur within 7 days. So it's got to be something in the future.
Where will we find?
This is where crowdsourcing can be helpful.
Where will we
Yeah.
find the first clue leading us to her? That could be one.
There you go. I like that one.
We'll give it a few seconds.
We'll see if chat has any responses. I mean, we're basically like ASMR for most of the people who listen to us, so I wouldn't expect any snappy responses.
Now's a great time to point out that we're sponsored by Champlain College's summer break.
All right, so you're gonna ask, where can we find the first clue?
I mean,
The
we could
first-
ask where we're gonna find the girl, even, right?
That may not help though if we can't. If it may be easier to piece together the clues if we can find the first.
Sure. I like
clue.
I like it, but that's probably because I suggested it, and not
Let's go
actually
for it.
because it's the right thing to ask.
So yes, where will we find the first clue in finding rescuing this girl? Do we have her name? If we
Yeah,
have her name, I would have used it.
Atia.
Atia is her name.
Yes.
Well, fuck, that's a good question.
I will burn my 4th
Okay.
level spell to do that.
Okay. Geldis, when you cast the spell and ask the question, all of a sudden you go blind, panickingly, completely blind. You flail your arms and you stumble and fall, and you fall into the newly growing wheat. When your vision returns and you stand up, the pattern of crushed wheat that you have fallen on is an arrow that's pointing right back to Journal Hall.
I've never had that happen before.
I have one more idea. I could use polymorph to transform myself or one of us into something with better senses than we have. And we could sniff around where she was last seen.
Actually,
or sniff, all that.
you can also all make a perception check at the pattern that was left in the wheat, but it's going to be challenge. It's going to be high.
Perception check.
Yes. You're looking
Got
at the
an
pattern
11.
of crushed wheat to see if you notice a pattern here.
I rolled a 1.
Jana?
Oh, a 1. I'm going to have fun with that one.
16.
Ooh, I'll use a
rolled a-
point.
I rolled a 20.
A nat
Is it a
20?
module?
No, just a dirty 20.
A dirty 20?
Yeah.
Is that good enough to do it?
Yeah, it's good enough. It's not just pointing towards Journal Hall, Zerwin. It's pointing to the western half of Journal Hall. Like if you drew a line directly down this arrow, it wouldn't point to the center of Journal Hall. It's pointing slightly to the left. Gelidus, with his nat 1, Um, now that you look at the arrow pattern that you've made and recognize it, um, you actually think it's not an arrow. You're convinced it's a mushroom, and you're pretty sure that the next clue is going to be found somewhere with a mushroom or near a mushroom or on a mushroom.
This makes perfect sense, guys. Fairy ring. They're made out of mushrooms. We just got to find the mushrooms.
So where am I? Are we standing about here?
No, even close. Like you actually are standing on a spot you can't see on the map because it would be the edge of that field where it meets the woods.
Be like right there.
Sort of, yeah. It's that's a rectangle, so it would actually be further than that. But yeah,
All
Yep.
right. And you said that I noticed the arrow is pointing essentially to this side of.
Hang
You
on,
see that?
I'm gonna pull up the Owlbear Rodeo thing here because I was looking at a different map that's interactive for me. But yes, it is pointing somewhere in here. You think you're almost certain it's like this part. You see where I'm?
Yes. Gotcha. Okay. So I'm kind of cocked my head and I'm eyeballing it, and I was like, "You guys think that's pointing back towards Juno Hall, like the western section of Juno Hall?"
Now that you mention it, I thought maybe it was just pointing toward the city, but yeah, very specifically toward the western half.
Hmm.
Um, has everyone's probably dispersed at this point, or are we still in the everyone's gathered around asking questions phase?
No, most people are headed right to the woods.
Right to the woods. Um, I'll ask the parents or any family members. Does the family have any dogs? Have dogs been a part of the search so far to try to smell for Atia?
Yes, my husband's out with the dog right now.
Okay. What do we think? Is it worth me using a fourth level spell slot to sniff around?
What has a more powerful sense of smell than a dog that you can shift to?
Uh, yeah, no, it would be either dog or wolf, I would guess. I don't know. What else? Can I transform into a turkey vulture?
You can
Don't they
actually
have
just
really good
transform it
sense of
into a
smells?
giant nose and just yeah. It's cocaine bear all the way down. Lots of animals have a very good sense of smell, but like I'm trying to do you a favor here. Like it doesn't make
Yeah,
sense if they've already got a dog that knows her and is a
yeah,
dog, the odds that you're going to be able to find something that dog doesn't is pretty slim.
yeah. No, and we
Dog
already asked the smelling question, and the girl said she didn't smell anything weird. So cool. Um, so that's where we're gonna find the first clue. Is in the western half of Journal Hall.
Skip says, I'm gonna head out in the woods for a little bit. Um, and he kind of like leans over to you guys and he's like, no one expects to find the girl, but this is about being here for the family. It's about community. We got to make it
Okay.
look good, right? And I actually care that these people are hurt. I want to do what I can to make them feel better.
Okay. Yeah, let's help out in the woods then for a little bit.
Um, the woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but it has promises to keep, and you are not amongst those promises. So you find nothing, except for all the things that you might normally find in woods. After about an hour, the next shift comes in, and you all are relieved, and you're sent back to town with the many thanks from Cestia. Thank you for thank you for trying. Uh, It means a lot to me that you strangers came to help us. Then she turns around and walks away.
Hmm. western half. Hey, Bill, looking at that arrow on the ground there, pointing like could it maybe be pointing at the castle that's on the western outside of the city on the western side?
Could.
Okay.
It's an arrow made by Gelidus falling weirdly in some newly grown wheat. It's not super precise.
Gelidus, what happened like when you cast the spell that made you fall?
Well, I was struck blind. I couldn't see anything, and so I kind of flailed about and tripped over myself and fell.
Was that the only change to your senses that you noticed?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe in addition to the arrow pointing the way, it'll be somewhere really dark. Maybe. I mean, conjecture, but
Could be.
okay. I mean, because that doesn't happen usually when you cast that spell, right?
Oh, it's never happened before.
All right. Good to keep that in mind. Um, should we go? I mean, we could try to investigate around the western half of the city. That kind of feels like a lot. We could also try to meet with some of the powers that be in the castles.
Up to you. Zerwin had mentioned wanting to potentially speak to Alvinius.
If he remembers anything, that might be useful.
And it's better than what we have now.
We can
Yeah.
ask him about the mushrooms.
Yeah, right. The mushrooms.
It
What
was the
mushrooms?
mushrooms. They were poisoned. Oh man. I think you should read what the real Foxy Proxy wrote. Just gonna throw that out there. The chat has given you some good words. All right, Alvinius.
Where
It shouldn't be too hard to find because Alvinius is the master of ceremonies for the upcoming games.
where did the Foxy Proxy post?
In chat, in stream
In the
chat.
Twitch chat? Yeah. So Foxy
Oh, the
Proxy said, "Where and when will the little girl be seen next by a living creature?"
Nope, keep going.
Yeah, and then after that, was he given the vision of what the girl can see?
Yeah,
where am I? Is it in the general tab?
it's in the stream chat.
In
Oh,
in Twitch, on Twitch.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
Twitch.
show
not.
it.
I'm not on Twitch.
Yeah. Wow.
That's why.
I
Not
mean,
everyone can be a subscriber.
can I just point out that you actually are on Twitch right now?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. Touche,
yeah, as they say.
as they say.
Yeah. Um, so why can't I work this thing? This thing. Hang on. Sadly, the only picture I could find of Alvinius is this one, where he looks like I am mysterious wood guy coming out of the woods. But
Wow.
yeah, but that is what he looks like. Just not, you know, I don't know. He doesn't look quite that douchey. But those are his features, and he does wear basically a woolen green riding cloak most of the time. He basically looks like at any moment he could just walk back into the woods and be totally happy and fine. Um, right now, you have to go to the hippodrome, right?
Sure.
Hold on, I'm
I
just
mean,
pulling the stuff up. It is truly a massive building. For those of you who did not live in cities or grow up in cities, this building is enormous. And if you have never seen
How big?
how big, it's fucking big. Okay. Actually, I can tell you how big it is. Oh man,
Why is it
okay.
shaped like a U?
It's about 350 feet by no, it's about 400 feet by 500 feet.
Which one of those is height?
Neither. Thanks. Um, what you see on the map, right, as you're looking at the Owlbell Rodeo, you can see can you see my highlighter?
Yeah. It'll show up on the
So
stream in a
this
minute.
right here, right, is like it is offices, um, conference rooms, and then all on the inside is all stands, right? So on the outside edge are like offices and conference rooms, but also cells, which could be prison cells, and uh, you know, rooms that hold equipment, sort of like, you know, gladiator rooms where if you're going to go on later, you can be in there. Um, safe safe rooms, and then the inside of the hippodrome is all stands. This giant U that looks like it could hold easily 30,000 people. Um, it's truly massive. And then you can't see it on the map, but there is the arena is that rectangle in the middle. And even though the building doesn't show it on the map, there is a fourth wall to hold the arena in, which would be there. Can you see that? No, you can't see that for some reason. It's not refreshing. But anyway, it'd be on the northern side.
So it's not a U, it's more of an O.
Well, the building part is a U, but the arena part is an O, if that makes sense. So like the stands stop and the other rooms stop, but the wall of the arena does not. It connects. Anyway, it's huge. It's the biggest single building you've ever seen. And apparently, it's not even the biggest one in the empire. So, whoever the engineers are around here, they're better than any engineers you've ever seen. Um, there isn't anything like this anywhere in Faerun. Alvinius is currently in the MCs. There's like an entire throne room for the MC. You have to go through all these other like spaces and then up the stairs. It's in the south, and it's like a skybox, right? On one side are windows that you can look down over the whole stadium. You're the highest point on the bottom end of the stadium, so you can see everything. And on the other side are doors and a hallway, right? And it's a big room that's separated into many rooms. Alvinius is there. In addition to Alvinius, there's Alvinius, just to remind you. In addition to Alvinius, there is another person there. It is his constant companion. Oh, technology, why? Why? This happened last time too. It just like refuses to let me do anything. Here we
Is it
go.
the fox? Is it the fox guy?
No, it's a giant raven person.
Oh, it's the guy sitting down, like the fat bird that's in
Nope,
the NPCs.
got it. It's this guy. Yay, technology caught up. I really wanted to
Wow,
show
look
you
at
this
that
picture.
guy.
So Alvinius is sitting, at like on basically a throne. There are a lot of people in this room. They're all talking at once. It is very loud. Alvinius looks unperturbed. He looks calm, unconcerned. Um, he definitely notices when you all walk in, and sitting next to him, saying absolutely nothing and looking at no one but you all, is this fellow here. It is a Kenku, yes. Congratulations, you've made it to Alvinius's throne room. Now what, team?
Whose idea was it to do this now?
Can I help you? Alvinius says from the back of the room.
Greetings, Alvinius. My name is Ezra. These are my colleagues. Ezra introduces them all.
How'd you know that was Alvinius?
Just heard a disembodied voice in my head that told me it was Alvinius. Hey, let's start over. Might you be Alvinius? Okay. Fast forward. Um, we're new to Journal Hall, and we hear that you are the announcer for the Three Kingdoms tournament.
Oh no, I wish I was the announcer. In fact, I am the organizer,
The
and
organizer.
yeah, and you know, the unpleasant sense of duty is what I am for the next couple of weeks.
What makes it unpleasant?
Eh.
Well, there are some people, I imagine, in the world who, in some way, derive pleasure from the ceaseless bickering and endless demands of your time and energy, the nearly thankless work required to organize tens of thousands of people, as well as the mind-numbing minutia that goes into organizing a once every 4-year games, which has incredibly high stakes. Those people, however, are not much like me in any way.
What are you like?
I believe I described already an unfortunate sense of duty. And you,
Mhm.
Ezra, what are you like?
Well, I'm a little over 3 feet tall. Like candlelit dinners, long walks on the beach, afternoons spent inside a good library, spending time with my friends. Ezra motions to his colleagues again. We are here in part because we had heard that you are the only person who ever returned after disappearing as a child.
Well, I would say I'm the only person who's ever returned that we know of.
We know of. That's a good point. So you did you remember that you had been taken, or was it something that was told to you after you returned, and that's why you know of it?
It was something that was told to me by my adopted family in the wild.
You say the wilds here on this island, or the Feywild?
In fact, there is no difference, I think.
Okay. Well, I thought that there were three different kingdoms here: the wilds, the Fey.
The Fey Kingdoms and the wilds, I believe, are both part of what the rest of the world calls the Feywild.
Oh, all right.
In the same way that Baldur's Gate is not the same as, I don't know, any other city. What's the name of the really big one on the coast there?
A really big city.
Yeah.
Ezra looks to his friends from Faerun.
Anyway, In the same way that
Waterdeep, is that it?
yes, Waterdeep. In the same way that Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep are both cities and yet are not the same.
Who was your adopted family?
I was taken in and cared for um, by Kenku.
Where did Kenku find you?
Um, that's a good question. Hold on one second. Uh, the Kenku found me wandering through the woods somewhere in the wild, dying of hunger and thirst.
How, how did they know you were from here?
In the same way that I knew that they weren't from where I'm from. There aren't people like me there unless they have gotten lost.
Sounds like it was some distance away from Juneau Hall. I mean, you're from Juneau Hall originally, right?
Yes. Uh,
So,
Glocta's father took me in and raised me.
all right. Um, Part of why we're here, you may have heard that a little girl disappeared this morning on the outskirts of the farmlands to the west of the city. Uh, we came to you for advice, trying to figure out where we might be able to find the next breadcrumb to where to possibly find her.
Um, I wish that I could give you advice. I have no memories between the time when I was disappeared and when Glocta's father found me.
Could you mark on a map where you were found?
Roughly. The wild is a tricky place, though. If you, Zerwin, if you go from the map of Drunel Hall to the map of, yep, that's it. Now, where did I put it? There it is. Yeah. So can you see my pointer now?
Mm-hmm.
All right. He was found roughly here.
And where are we on this map? The white area?
I can find Drunel Hall for you. It is right exactly.
Yeah, so a long way. I mean, yeah, it's like at least 50 to 100 miles then away, right?
It's quite a long way. Yeah.
And is this Galacta here with you?
It is, yes.
Good to meet you, Galacta. So sorry for my rudeness in not introducing ourselves directly to you earlier. Um, do you happen to know is how commonplace it is for children and young people to accidentally wander in or disappear into the wilds?
You're asking Glock to this?
Yeah, he's from there, so he might have some insight.
Glocta looks at you with those black eyes. There's no readable expression on his face whatsoever. But then he looks over at Alvinius. And Alvinius has a weird sort of smile on his face. Um, sorry. Glocta doesn't speak.
All
How
right.
did they communicate?
Well, mostly he doesn't, to He's well, let's say he's a private kind of guy. It's a long story, but Galacta's communication on this plane is painful to him, and so he seeks not to communicate much here. When we go home, he's very different, I can promise you. He's only here as a brother to me, in the same way that if he were going someplace to do an unpleasant task for several weeks, which might put him in danger, I would go with him.
Well,
Who,
Galacta, thank you for accompanying your friend to a place that it seems like maybe it's somewhat difficult for you to be. That
can we
speaks
do
highly to your allegiances.
Galacta
can we do some
nods, so you get that much from him.
can we do some insight checks on whether or not Alvinius is telling us the truth about what he remembers and like essentially just the story he's telling is true?
I would love for you guys to do insight checks because there's a chance that one of you is going to get a 1, and then you're going to believe something really stupid for the rest of the game, which makes me happy. So please.
We all should have been halflings. 20. That's an unnatural, spooky 20.
I
I
got
got
a,
27.
I got a 7. I also have a -1 to insights, so
It's good that you're the one asking for them then.
Geldis, you got a 27?
27. Yep.
Jana?
I can't roll it.
But
Sorry.
can you just roll a d20?
Sure. I don't remember what my modifier is.
I can look
But
it up.
that was a 20.
A nat 20?
Yes.
Beautiful. Look at that. See? It's all coming together, team. Okay. Galadis is like 95% sure that Alvinius is telling the truth, and Jana is 100% true. Well, rather, he believes all the things that he's saying to you, 100%. And also, because you rolled a nat 20, Jana, I'll also give you this. It's not that Glokta is unwilling to communicate with you. It's that you're picking up that any kind of speech would be physically painful for him. So nodding is mostly what he does, or shaking his head. Look at that guy. Oh man, I love this character. He's got a great face.
Um, anyone else have any other questions for Alvinius right now?
Phineas, are there any fairy rings of mushrooms around here?
Um, I don't know. That's I don't think that that's really a thing. I think that's just a superstition, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. I just wouldn't know about them.
Hmm.
Did you find
Alvinius,
your way? Go ahead. Go ahead, Zerman.
where were you taken from?
Oh, I was taken from my bedroom in the middle of the night.
Ezra,
I don't
were we
remember what
supposed
my
to ask?
question was going to be.
Are
Jana?
we supposed to ask Alvinius about the ley lines and the Radiant Citadel?
Uh, we can. I don't think that we're kind of asking around about magic and
We were
the
supposed to ask somebody about about the Radiant Citadel, and I think it was Alvinius about the corruption in the diamond. I think it was Alvinius,
Okay.
but I'm like,
Alvinius, are you a magic user yourself, or do you know anything about magic and ley lines?
I'm not totally deaf to magic.
So part of why we're new in town is we are investigating the ley lines associated with this area of Faerun. Um, our understanding is that there's some kind of evil or corruption that seems to be emanating from this place through the ley lines elsewhere. An infection of sorts, traveling through the ley lines. And we're trying to find anyone who might have any information about the ley lines in this area or any corruption that might be taking place through them.
Yes. This is not the time or place to talk about it, though.
Is
We
it
will.
something that needs to wait until after the games or just to a more private time?
Where are you staying? I will come find you this evening.
Staying with Chuckles.
You're staying with Chuckles.
Yes, he's been very generous.
Well, that's good news because I can't wait to get the fuck out of this town for a little bit.
Good. We'll be excited to see you.
Very good.
Do you need anything done while you're here? You know, we're pretty good at getting things done.
He like looks around at the literal like 50 people who are all asking him to do shit right now.
Maybe we'll just leave you alone.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Pleasure meeting you.
Please do something nice with your day. By the way, before you leave, or after you've already left, so it's fine. He says, "Please do something nice with your day because I can't." But yeah, I think Chad had some good ideas too, for what it's worth.
Hey.
Yeah, Foxy Proxy's been spitting good ones today. It's nice.
Well, he doesn't. Well, yeah, he said he remembers he was taken from his bedroom.
Yep. So it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. You could go for some lunch. You could go poke around.
We need to work on arranging meetings with the people in the castles.
So the people in the castles are going to be very different to arrange meetings for.
Yeah.
Which would you like to try to arrange meetings for first? So
Uh,
there is Linda, and there is Vinith.
the one who's in the castle to the west that's outside the city proper.
Linda.
Linda.
So do you all want to travel? Let me pull up the map of Journal Hall again. Do you all want to go to the castle? It's on the other side of town, but it's only going to take you, whatever, 20 minutes to walk there.
Yeah. Sound good?
I'm okay with that.
Anyone have anything else?
You do pass not right by the inn, but you pass near it if you want to stop and get lunch on the way.
Should probably pack up our things and bring them with us.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah,
eat.
they're gonna have to turn down the room. What time were we supposed to check out?
Veilthorn didn't say, but you imagine if he needed the room, he'd probably just pack all of your shit in his booth and wait for you to come get it.
Sounds good. Yeah, what do they have for lunch today? Do they have lunch again?
The special for the day is lunch.
Oh, I'll have that.
Today lunch is
Let it be rabbit.
basically
Let it be rabbit.
it's basically a chicken salad. They
Let
don't.
it be rabbit.
Yeah, it's like some chicken, like cooked and cubed, with like some vegetables, and served on like really thick slices of dark bread. And
Wow.
there it is. I've made myself hungry.
Yep.
Just like that.
Zerwin, this looks like pumpernickel.
Who
Love
gives a shit?
pumpernickel. I like to pretend it's chocolate.
Ugh.
Uh,
Chicken
Chocolate on your
salad
chicken
on
salad?
chocolate bread. Chocolate makes everything better. So
right. So you've gotten lunch. Well done. Are you going to head over to the castle now or do something else? Are you going to ask people around here anything before you leave?
Yeah, can
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can we like look? Did the girl live in this direction?
No, she lived south of town in the sort of like hovels on the edge of
In the
town.
in the
You mean
Bullum
like
down there?
Yeah.
Hamlet Bottom?
Like down
Uh,
near?
more towards Hamlet Bottom. Yeah.
I mean, if we just ask around while we're eating lunch, I'll go from table to table just asking.
Yeah, we could try to see if there's any specific areas that people tend to be taken from more often. You know, get a map
I'm gonna
out
find the
and
mushrooms too.
put little thumbtacks in the spots that people have been taken from.
You gathered some loose data on the past like 10 years worth of missing kids, and there does not seem to be a pattern at all.
So yeah, it's inside the city, outside the city, all over the place.
Nighttime, daytime, in their houses, outside.
Boys, girls,
Yep.
ages.
Well, no, the ages are similar. You haven't found one over 7 yet. Most of them are ages 3 to 5.
Right, this has the ringings of a pizza gate.
I was just talking to my students about that the other day.
That's too crazy to be in a D&D campaign. Sorry,
Hmm.
What do you want us?
diverging from the story.
All right, everyone, tear down the walls. We're done for tonight. This is too much for a D&D campaign.
Uh, Linda, if you assuming you go to the castle after this,
Yes, please.
so take a look at the castle real quick, right? And you can zoom in quite a bit on this. You'll see that the road to enter, there's only one entrance. There's a big gate, and it's on the southern sort of corner there. I'm going to pull up my detailed map real quickly. So there's a little. So first of all, the gates are actually open. Looks like anybody could wander in, and yet no one is. Um, when you go in, there is a like little fountain that you can see right there. The wall, you see that little blue dot. That water that's coming out of that fountain is crystal clear, and it is cold, and it's beautiful. Um, to your left, right? Let me highlight these buildings for you. The star-shaped building. I can't look at both maps at the same time. I apologize. But you see the star-shaped building?
Oh yeah.
That is known as the Great Pick Estate. It's a massive star-shaped stone building. Then there's the castle itself. Does anybody remember the name of the castle?
Can I do a
Give
history
you
check and you could
like
tell us?
Alis Alana
Alias.
to you.
There you go, Castle Alias. You can't see that there's a building behind it. The walls are about 50 feet around the castle. The walls are immaculately maintained. This castle grounds could withstand a siege from an army if it was properly manned. The towers are well spaced, the crenellations are well cared for. There is little ballistae on top of each tower that you could fire down, have a clear shot. It it's really well maintained. The
Can you
actual
give me the?
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask for the name of the estate one more time.
Great Pick. Great Pick Estate.
Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. The keep itself, Castle Alias, is 4 stories of stone with slate roof. The stone is probably some sort of granite. Actually, Zerwin knows. It's granite. The road that goes up to it is well maintained. There's no gardens here that you see, which is a little odd. But there are guards at the doors, which is like the main gate to the keep itself. As you approach, they hail you. Do you have business here?
Yes, we are representatives from another world. We are investigating an apparent infection in the magic and ley lines that seems to be rooted here, around Drunel Hall or underneath Drunel Hall, and we're hoping to speak to the leaders in the area, and we're hoping to meet with, uh, Ezra says the full name of Linsarian Benathan, about to learn more about what might be going on.
And may I have your names, ladies and gentlemen?
Introductions.
Zerwin.
Gelidus.
Donna.
Very well. I will tell her you are here.
Thank you.
He disappears in the castle. Sorry, Foxy Proxy, I missed those. He disappears into the castle. Just a few minutes later, he comes out, and he seems to be kind of more at ease. Okay, right this way. He takes you inside. I'm going to switch over to the... He takes you inside, and there's a foyer. A fancy word for an entrance area. Except this little entrance area has arrow slits on the walls on the side and more studded oak doors in front of you. He takes you past that. Then it opens up into a great big great room that goes up 2 stories, although it does have a roof. You can see there's rooms all around the outside. He doesn't let you stand and admire anything. He keeps you moving. This way, please. He takes you to the west and up a flight of stairs, then up another flight of stairs, then up another flight of stairs. And then when you're at the top, he takes you to the... It looks like there's a... You see that the castle has a tower on the map, right? There's 4 towers on each corner of the castle. You are clearly in the southwest. You don't have to be a genius to figure out you're in the southwest tower. And there is a large door and a couple of benches. Grab a seat, he says. Linda will be out when she's ready to see you.
Thank you.
Is there any reading material?
Oh no.
Can I do a perception check to make sure there's no like trap or anything going on?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more exciting to be surprised by the trap, though? I mean, why ruin that surprise?
Oh, I got a critical failure, so I'm probably going to be surprised.
There's definitely a trap.
You're looking for traps?
Or an ambush of some sort.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely an ambush here. You can't tell where it's going to come from, but it's absolutely going to happen.
Okay. I don't like this, guys.
Everything seems on the up and up so far. Try to relax. It'll all be okay. How do
I
you...
mean, if Zerwin says that we're about to be ambushed, I'm gonna like look around and can I roll perception too?
His paranoia is starting to spill over. He might be right.
How do you think they get the water so clear in that fountain? That was wild. Seeing water that clear and, well, at least since Wonder.
21
21 to perceive an ambush.
perception to perceive an ambush.
Um, You don't perceive an ambush, but you know, Zerwin might be better at this than you.
Okay.
Maybe it's fed by a spring underneath the ground.
It could be.
The door opens. Come in!
I jump up.
All right. In we go, I guess.
It's a large room that has some windows. There's a desk and it has some windows. These windows are the type of windows that are they have a like concave scoop out around them. So you could knock this window out and fire arrows out of it if you needed to and be relatively sheltered on the side. That said, they're tall and thin and let in plenty of light. And you can even see a little bit of the like mountains in the distance. It's quite nice. There's a rather large desk, and behind it is a rather small older woman. There she is, there. Her blue eyes are bright, and her cheeks are a little, just a tad rosy. Her very, very white hair is well kept. She is wearing relatively simple garb that is nicely put together and well tailored. Um, she's not smiling, but she's not frowning either. Um, she seems to have a shrewd look in her eye.
It's just her in here.
It's just her.
Did we get a sense for how well this castle is manned as we were coming in?
You did not.
Or
You saw not
There's-
a single person on your way in.
Other than guards, right?
You saw one guard that brought you in, and then one guard that stayed outside, and you saw no one else.
Wow. And it's immaculately kept. So intriguing.
Ah, the newcomers, please.
That is what they call us. They don't call us anything else.
That is a
They
lie,
reckon
but
there's
sit
the kind of
down.
fruits. Greetings, Lady Benathium. Uh, we are a group visiting from the Radiant Citadel. These are my colleagues. Ezra introduces all of them painstakingly,
There,
specifically pointing out Zerwin Dragonbreaker.
so I'm gonna say that Owen and Dirk are here with you, even though they're not here. And there are exactly 6 chairs set out in front of her desk. Yes, yes, please sit. I know who you are.
Um, we're hoping to learn more about the magic in this area, specifically the ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you could tell us about them?
Well, ley lines are spaces where magic travels.
Right. Our understanding is that there is a ley line or perhaps multiple ley lines associated with this area, Drunel Hall specifically.
Yes, that is correct.
Are they underground? Do they kind of flow through an unseen space through the city?
Um, well, I believe that. How do I explain this? You are a sorcerer.
So they tell me.
Yes. Uh, can you cast a cantrip now? Something that costs you almost nothing.
Certainly. Ezra casts prestidigitation and like holds up a finger and a
Ah, yes, right there. Just there. Did you see the magic pop out?
yeah.
No, you didn't. You only saw the effects. Where did the magic come from? Hmm? Where did it spring forth from?
I like to think it was from within me, from my innate and natural gifts.
Very well, then that's what it is. Nevertheless, I could not see it spring forth from your body. I could only see the effect that it had. Such
Hmm.
is the way with ley lines.
Is there a way to observe them more directly through their effects?
Yes, absolutely. In many ways. For example, being caught in the middle of a ley line might have catastrophic or terrifying implications for your casting. If a ley line were, as you say, corrupted in some way, that corruption would pass through everyone who used magic anywhere near that ley line, and it would go to the next and the next and so on. Hmm?
So we had it on good authority that there is some sort of infection that began in the ley lines here and is spreading to other ley lines elsewhere, including into other planes of existence. Um, but we've used some magic while we've been here and have not observed those effects, the things that you're describing. Um, is there any way for us to find out more about this infection? Is it something that you have noticed or have heard about?
I have noticed, but it's. Hmm, I've been working on the same problem, and I have no good solutions yet. But it seems to be something just on the tip of your tongue, or just after you've tasted something. The residue, perhaps, of the feeling of the feeling of someone else's lips on yours after you've kissed them. Only in this case, the kiss is dark and vile. Or maybe a better metaphor would be something more like the feeling that someone is standing behind you with a knife, but when you turn, there's no one there.
Do you know of any spots in the city that seem especially attached to the ley lines?
Yes, there's this castle and the other. That's why they're there.
They were built there because of their proximity to or affinity for the ley lines?
Well, I'm old, but I'm not that old. I wasn't there when they were built, but it is my best guess, yes.
How'd
Other
you know?
questions?
How'd
Yeah,
you
go
know
ahead.
our names?
Oh, you don't get to be my age and hold this much power in an area without learning how to learn things, young man. How did you know mine?
Someone
I
told
didn't.
us.
Hmm, you should have.
Also,
I
where
did, for what it's
where
worth.
are all the guards? This is a pretty big castle. I didn't see too many people here. How do you keep yourself protected?
What makes you think I need protection, young man?
I'm an old soldier. It's just the way I think.
Fair enough. Well, it's a fair question, but you did note that you didn't enter unchallenged, yes?
Hmm.
And if you're an old soldier, you probably noted that there are several very defensible entryways and choke points.
Hmm.
I don't need many people around to be safe. I just need the right people around to be safe. And I have the right people. As far as the cleaning staff goes, there's a dozen of them.
Do you know anything about the disappearance of children that's been going on here for many years?
Ah, the Junal Hall curse. I heard there was one taken this morning. It's terrible. I lived in fear of having my own children taken from me, only to find that they were worthless shits who left anyway. But that's another story.
Have you ever done any investigating yourself into the disappearances?
As much as I could, sending other people who are more qualified for that sort of thing. Mostly I've done reading about it. It goes back a long, long way. As far back as I can find history in this town, children have gone missing. It used to be worse. It slowed down, apparently, over the past century or so.
Did you find any patterns?
They're always young.
Is that it?
More or less. Sometimes the longest gap I could find was 3 years. The shortest gap I found was 3 weeks. Roughly.
Did anything strange happen in that 3-week period?
Not that I could find. The records are spotty from back then. I've always wanted to question Alvinius about it, but he's notoriously slippery.
Can I insight
And
check her and see if she's telling the truth?
Yeah.
let me jump on that too.
15.
21.
Two people rolled. You got a 15 and a 21? Yes, she absolutely believes what she's saying.
You mentioned your own children were worthless shits and they all left. We had heard that maybe there's a great nephew of yours named Keen
The
who
biggest shit of them all.
is
Well,
part of that being the
I've
problem.
had a few that could give that a run.
Oh, I assure you, your asshole is nowhere near large enough to compete with this one.
He stuck around.
Sadly,
What's the problem? Why is he a concern for you?
he's not a concern for me. I'll be dead by the time he takes power here. He should be a concern for you. You look young.
Old enough to party. Ezra whispers under his breath.
If only I
Well,
could convince my great niece to take over, it would be much better. Sadly,
What do you mean? What do you mean take over? Is there not a? Is it not passed down through?
there are rules of succession, but I think I could bribe my great nephew to fuck off into nothingness. If only Eartha would say yes, but she won't. She wants to be a teacher. And who can blame her? Look at the glory I have, after all.
uh, pausing for a second here. Can you remind me, Bill? Tirtha Vandrin is the person who we're supposed. Is she the teacher or the grandmother who we're supposed to find?
I think you just got a clue about that one. She's the
Yeah,
She's
teacher.
a teacher.
but that's not the name that Linda just said, or did I
She
mishear
did
her?
just say that.
Okay, I
Eartha.
misheard it then. Okay, perfect. So is this the grandmother then? Do we think, folks?
She said great niece?
Yeah. So that's the
So it's her
that's the route.
sister.
Do you have any other family members here or any siblings?
Not anymore, no. And since my sister died, it's been just me.
I'm so sorry. Sorry for your loss.
Yes, well, I do miss her from time to time, but she had a long life.
When did she pass away?
About a year ago.
Oh, what was her name?
Well, shit, I can't remember. Hold on. Numeria.
Would it be possible for us to meet with your great niece? Perhaps we could appeal to her senses and try to convince her to.
Sure. I mean, she's a teacher. You can find her at the school or afterwards. But I believe that you're looking for my sister because of, if I had to guess, it would be something that is cursed or suspected of being cursed.
We had a task in that vein.
From an old friend of your sister's.
I can do it.
Before we provide it to you, you need to be aware that there is a really potent curse on it, and we were warned not to open the box or that the book is in, or unwrap the book, or open the book. It's all cursed, and
Hmm.
probably unspeakable things would happen
Yeah,
if the
someone
wrong
actually
person.
cares about your well-being. Whoever that
Well,
is, you
thank
should
you.
thank them.
Ezra makes a note to thank Ash.
Uh, Listen, my younger sister was talented in the ways of curses and curse removals. And I think she always was more talented than I was in general. But she was never as dedicated as I was, and she's never as smart as I was. Give it to me. I'll figure it out. After all, it's been a boring 3 weeks, what with the fighting and spellcasting and all of the bullshit that's happening around here.
Why don't you
My
like it?
Why would I? It's a bunch of fucking childish idiots bashing each other over the fucking head in order to be called the protector of the realm. Oh, that and the upstarts from the south, from the noble families, who are convinced they're going to be famous. Fuck them. The only ones I have respect for are the ones that need the money, and they almost never win.
can I try to do an insight? I want to try to get a feeling for if it seems like she may have any kind of nefarious intent for the delivery that we have.
Sure.
Another, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
I'm gonna pay the sorcery point to re-roll it because it was an 11. Come on, bigger rolls. It's a 14. Those extra 3, well worth it. 1 sorcery point to move up a 3 on an ability check. That's why we come to this stream, folks.
Uh, you don't think so?
Cool.
All right, I pull the book out and hand it to her.
She doesn't take it. Just place it on the desk, please.
I do as she asks.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
How do you feel about the people in the other castle?
Vinith and his ilk?
Sure.
Well, have you ever... Could you do me a favor, Ezra? Could you smile?
Well, when you put it that way, it makes me a little nervous, but I'll give it my best shot. And Ezra gives a big toothy grin.
You wouldn't know, but if you'd ever had a tooth rot and then had to be pulled, there's a period in which the rotting tooth is very, very painful and loose, and your mouth tastes like rot, and you can't eat, and you can't drink, and you just lie there in your own fucking misery, tasting the rot that inhabits your mouth. You know it'll come out, and you know it'll hurt. But in the meantime, you just have to suffer.
And that's the other family.
Oh, you're good at metaphors.
Don't love being chided, but I'll allow it in this case.
Thank you. I think I've earned it. Oh, good. Well, then maybe I can ask you a few questions now. Since you've had your fill of mine. For starters, why are you here?
To deal with the corruption of the ley line or the infection
Why?
of the ley lines. Because it's causing problems where we're from.
What kind of problems? And besides, I thought you were from someplace else.
Yeah. We're
Hmm,
all from different places, but our adopted home is the Radiant Citadel.
I see. So it's causing problems at the Citadel.
Sure.
Hmm. What kind of problems?
The concern is that whatever infection in the magic here is going to spread there.
Has it?
I think the jury's out on that one. I think we still have an opportunity to stop it.
I want you to make a deception roll.
Just Gelidus or everybody? Or I'm sorry, just Ezra or everybody?
Ezra's the only one talking right now, so
17.
okay. Hmm.
Well, hold on. I think Ezra kind of does believe that.
You literally saw a car-sized hunk of corruption in the Radiant Citadel, the Royal Diamond.
I did.
Did,
I don't even know what a car is though. No, but the I think that Ezra believes that it's possible to stop it.
that's not what she asked. She asked if there's any evidence of it spreading. You said the jury was still out, and that is a lie.
Fair enough. I'll sit in my lie.
Hmm.
It's a stinky one.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how far along the impact is. And while there may be an impact so far, I think the fact that we're here to try to deal with the problem suggests that we might be able to either stop it or reverse it.
How about you, Kander? Has anything reached Kryn yet?
I don't know if anything's reached Kryn. Um, I mean, do we really think it's corruption and not just a refunneling and directing the ley lines?
What do you mean?
Well, we talked about the crystal in the Radiant Citadel being it resets itself every now and then, right? Well, the easiest way to kill all the gods would be to redirect all the ley lines to it and blow it up, right?
Hmm. Interesting. And you, miss? What's your opinion?
We ran into some trouble on Kryn. We were told it was connected.
Hmm. And if you find trouble here, will you assume it is connected as well?
Seems like it is.
Everywhere we've gone, not everywhere, almost every place that we've been so far since we've been together, all of those things have been connected. So it's the correlation exists. So it wouldn't be too much of a leap to make that assumption based on our experiences so far.
Do you have gods that walk this plane here?
Not here, no, but the Feywild does. The realms of the Fey have their elder Fey gods that have been known to, I don't know, prance about and drink wine and fuck themselves silly, or get angry and destroy everything around them, or everything in between. No, this land is a godless land. There is a there is a temple behind my castle. You should go and meet some of the brothers and sisters there. I think you'll find them fascinating. And lastly, the purple-haired dwarf.
Ugh,
What's your opinion?
I don't generally have opinions.
Wiser than you look. Well, at least you've brought me something to entertain myself with. This is quite a knot you've given me. She pokes the book with a stick that she has like a ruler on her thing.
How long do you think it'll take you?
It doesn't look like it's going to be a quick job.
Ezra's gonna ask Owen to cast Detect Magic one more time. We could either do it here in the office or we could do it outside when we leave.
Detect magic?
Yeah, and see if he gets any, whispers or
There's
sniffs of that there ley line.
there's fucking magic everywhere in here. The old woman's earrings are magical. Her pendant is magical. She exudes magic energy. The book that
She
is wrapped is magical. There are items in her desk that are radiating some sort of magical energy. There are wards on the doors and the windows. There are his basically detect magic gives him a big fucking headache.
Nothing that's kind of like atmospheric or chaotic enough to seem like it's just raw magic.
There's a lot of chaos in the
Okay.
magic here. It Yeah, it gives him a big fat headache.
Listen, dear viewers, I want you to know that this is not the first time that I've had to try to sniff out a ley line in one of Bill's games, and it's never easy. I still don't know how to find one.
Yep. Perhaps we'll speak again soon.
Almost certainly. It's
Have
been
a
a
good day.
pleasure. We'll go meet the brothers.
Ah, very good. As you leave, the door opens um, before you get there, and the same guard that you saw is waiting for you in the hallway. When you all shuffle out, he closes the door behind him and leads you down exactly the way you came in. You see no one else until you get to the door where you see the other guard again.
As
How
we're,
long? How long does his detect magic last?
I think it's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, is he still getting a bunch of stuff as we walk out, or when we leave the room? Does it sort of quiet?
It gets turned down quite a bit as he leaves the room.
And the guard's not magic.
Hang on. Yeah, he can probably maintain concentration walking down the stairs, right? It's not that hard. Uh, so it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, though, and all these walls are more than 1 foot thick. So you don't really pass any of the. He doesn't sense any more magic in the castle.
And the guard is not magic at all.
Uh,
He's like, he's not wearing anything, or
no,
It's not an illusion.
no. The other guard, when you get outside, does have a magic sword.
Ooh. If only stealing wasn't illegal. All right. Shall we go meet the brothers? This might be where that ambush is.
So I'm actually going to call it there before we go get into another thing because I don't think there's anything else we can do tonight that isn't going to be another half an hour, or at least 20 minutes, and knowing you guys possibly even longer. Um, yeah, good job tonight. You got some places. I'm interested to see. So remember, put this in your collective notes that you have to go meet Alvinius and Glocta at Chuckles' house tonight. You're sleeping there, so it shouldn't be a problem. But in case you get wrapped up in something and you're like, I'm not going to go back, well, then you're going to miss a meeting. Um, while you award each other Danger Awesome points, I'm going to ask chat which player they think deserves a Danger Awesome point from the crowd tonight.
Jana gets my Danger Awesome point for taking notes.
I offered to do it, but then didn't. So that should go to
Didn't.
Ezra.
Okay,
Yeah.
then Ezra gets
You-
it.
Did you notice the immediate blind rage that came over my face when you just did that?
I forgot because I got distracted by trying to figure out why I couldn't access my character sheet.
I can't actually access your character sheet now either. It's like everybody who has accessed it now can't.
Yeah.
I'll give mine to Gelidus for always having something cool in his pockets.
Have you seen that meme of Tanner Lightfoot and it's like you've got my bow and my sword and my axe, and then the Kender's like you must have dropped them. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna give mine to Zerwin for having some good questions tonight and helping out the conversations because I don't always want. In fact, most of the time, I have no idea what to say.
Mine goes to Ezra because I'm sorry I got distracted and wasn't taking notes.
No, I would have.
I was
I
gonna.
would have not been able to even take part in the session. I would have been so distracted. I get it.
Uh, the crowd has awarded a Danger Awesome point to Ezra.
Thank you, Foxy.
All right, I'm gonna put up the dice for the raffle tonight. Do we have people on who would like a bag of dice?
Also, Foxy suggests everything's legal when there are no witnesses.
I know that Foxy always wants more dice. Who wants more dice? Type your name in chat now if you want to enter a raffle for a dice bag.
What kind of? Oh, it's the bag, or are there dice inside the bag also?
There's dice inside the bag also.
Whoa! Tell us about these dice, Bill.
Well, there's several of them. Can I tell you what happened today? I was at the Renaissance Fair with my children, and I do not like I do not like a lot of the things that happen at the Renaissance Fair, but I like most of it. There are some things that really bother me. Um, but I don't fit in. Like I don't dress up. I don't look like anyone else. I stand out more at a Renaissance Fair than I do at like a concert. Um, so I was walking around and like normally when I've gone to Renaissance fairs, I get kind of a lot of looks. Today, people are being super nice to me. I've been to several Renaissance fairs. Couldn't figure out why. Then I realized it's because I have my children with me, right? Yeah, my kids are cute, and they're like, yeah. And then I walked up to this one booth, and it was just dice. It was just 1,000 dice, right, everywhere. And my kids are like, oh, and they're like, look at this one, and then this one, look at this one, this one. And I walk up, and the guy goes, these. He looks at me and goes, these are Dungeons and Dragons dice, by the way. And I was like, you've actually just failed your wisdom check because these dice are used for all sorts of TTRPGs. And the look on his face was pure fucking gold. I relished every second of it. Uh, I look like an evil wizard. Wow, Foxy, that's quite a bold claim. It looks like
Think
just Foxy and Birdie would like it. So I'm gonna roll a six-sided dice, and we're gonna make Foxy 1, 2, and 3, and Birdie 4, 5, and 6.
he still didn't tell us about the dice inside the bag, guys.
4. I got a 4. That was I said 4, 5, and 6 is Birdie, right? Congratulations, Birdie. These are your dice. Hold on, I'll show you. Foxy's won a set of dice and a counter already, but I have faith, given Foxy's loyalty, that Foxy will win many things. Here are the dice. These are the dark ones. I like these ones.
Whoa!
I really like these ones. I think these ones are cool looking.
And there's 6 of them. Wow.
Yeah, there are 6 of them. No, there's
It's a
7
nice
of them.
even number.
There's 7 of them.
Oh, not an even number. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20.
Congratulations.
Tens.
Did I give a Danger Awesome point out tonight to you guys?
Did you? I don't think you did.
I don't think I did either. And I have to give mine tonight to Gelidus, because he rolled a nat 1 and really stuck with it, and it was entertaining to me. And also, he always checks his pockets, which always gives me excellent role-playing opportunities. And lastly, but not leastly, he went blind and made an arrow in the ground, um, which sort of led everyone along the way.
The commitment to the bit was excellent.
No, sorry. Yeah, if you want me to mail this stuff to you over the summer rather than waiting until the fall to collect it, you can just private message me on Discord through the Discord thing. And those counters are so easy, Foxy Proxy. I just pop them in an envelope and send them to you. Piece of cake. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks, y'all. Contact me on Discord if you want anything else, and have a good night. Bye, all.
Good night. Thanks for watching.